Hello, it's Rosie at RoseByNameCo. I've come back again today to show you the completion or just continue binging on our primitive tags. I call these primitive, well, because I kept it simple. Not so much in the color scheme or the hues in this, because there are quite a few different earthy tones or so that I've added to the tag, as well as some textures like the eyelash trim and the burlap over here as well, and some of the ridges here and ribbon. So there's quite a few of these items or elements, but as far as the images, I've kept it only to this one, which is oddly a bird leg skeleton of it, and it has alphabet on it, in which alphabet letters, which I think would mean that somewhere in the rest of the page of that in the book, it tells us the names of the bird bones. However, we won't concern ourselves too much with that. It's mostly just something that I wanted to put on a tag that is a little bit unusual, other than your usual flowers or trees or leaves and so on. So I call this a primitive tag, or rustic, if you will, or simple tag. So anyways, I did put it on a corrugated cardboard piece, a little bit thicker. And you could leave it, and of course you can write on this as it is, but I think I will put a piece of the coffee stain paper on the back, so when I go to sew this, I will just sew right around it and put that on there. It just, for me, adds a little bit extra touch. And however, the coloring, the gray or brown on this is still a primitive look. So this is the first one that we've completed, and then we've also done a second one in the previous part, where we have put together what we want to do, but we haven't actually glued it down. So I'm going to put this one aside, and then I will continue with this one. As far as what we put together here, everything looks good. What I will do now is just put aside a little bit on each side of what I intend to put. So just to remind myself, I put some on each side, and we'll start at the top, and I'm just gonna put glue all over, and where it ends up, really, it's okay wherever it ends up, the pieces that we've put together. So I might put this on top. Now if you recall, I will leave a little bit off the edge right around the whole thing, and if something doesn't fit quite right, we will reposition it. The glue, the stick glue is still lets us do that with it, and we'll just continue putting this on, and well, have a good time with it, I guess, because being isolated, we got all the time in the world to do our crafting, at least that much. So now if you really wish to put something underneath this lace, you could, but I'm just going to leave it so that it shows, so the brownish parts show through a little bit more. And this one, I believe I want it on the top, so I'm just going to put it here for now. And you could put a little bit more so that it goes off the edges even more. Now if it doesn't seem to be sticking, you could use a little bit of wet glue, but we just want it there for the time being, so that it doesn't come apart before sewing. Now this one, I wanted to put this, I believe, from the bottom. Let me just put a little more glue over here. And we'll put this right at the edge. And of course we're going to layer, keep layering on the top. And then this one will go somewhere over here. Now I think I'm going to put this right over top. Instead of putting this in the middle, I could put in the middle, and then this over top here. I could do it that way as well. Let me just see how it might look with this. So in the other one, we did put a piece of the brownish or the craft paper or paper bag paper, just to outline a little bit more instead of inking, because I'm not going to be doing a lot of inking, maybe at the very edges and at the end. And but I wanted to just show this a little bit more. So you might actually leave this as it is and then put this one on top of here, and that looks pretty good to me. Now, if I want something on this one, we did put a little bit underneath, a little bit of color, so I might do that. Maybe I will go back to my digital collage and look for some flowers or something like the leaf, just a little bit of a pop of color here. And but I don't want it too big, so this is just a little bit big. I'm going to trim this down a little bit more. Let me see. This looks okay, I believe. So I'm just going to glue this and put this over top in the corner, and then we will put this on top of that there, so you can still see through it, but not too much. We're going to just keep it more neutral, and just so it doesn't look overly busy. And I'm going to again put this so it sticks right over, as you can see here. Not too much so, but some of it. And I like the way it looks, so I'm going to leave a little bit, although I do like to stick everything down pretty good. I'm going to leave it a little bit over here so that you can see. And so now we're going to put this over top, and I'm going to align this here first. Now over here we put a little bit of the ridges and the burlap, so I want a very similar look to this one. So I'm going to look for some, well, I have some burlap here, and I will take a piece of it, and I'm just going to sort of braid it, or how, whatever you want to say about it, just so it's in pieces over here, and then I will put this on top and leave this, and I'm going to cut this afterwards. So I'm just going to fold it over and glue it down as much as I can, whatever, you know, however it might stick down. Okay, now I'm going to move this over a little bit with this, just so it doesn't stick to my fingers. There. Okay, so that'll look better once I cut the edges here. It'll go more, spread more apart. Now, the only thing maybe I wanted to do a little bit different, just put a little bit of sparkle, if I can find the end of it. Let me see if we can undo this, and just a tiny piece. I really don't want a lot of it. So when I put this over here, maybe just down here somewhere, or top, no, two over here, it's a little bit too primitive, and maybe even in the corner here, but I think I might put it just under here, just a tiny bit like this, just for a bit of sparkle. Now also I might go with this.
Do you have a dice, like a...
My grandson came upstairs. It seems each time I sort of, you know, go up to the attic, I guess I disappear a little, and they're right away, you know, Baka, which means grandma in Croatian. Where are you? What are you doing? They come upstairs and check up on me. So you're not safe anywhere. Anyways, now I might put this one a little bit differently. Let me see. More upwards like that. And another piece of it. It doesn't have to be long. It can be more this way. And then another piece of it just over here, just underneath over here. So I'm going to glue this one here. I'm pretty sure I want it there. Okay, not to cover the sparkle too much. And then this one, probably over here, so that then I will slide this over. So I have to put it a little bit more out if I want to see it. I mean, otherwise there's no point in it if you don't really see it. Sometimes, you know, we do these collages and we cover, first we put these beautiful papers on, and then we end up covering it up with some other things. And I'm thinking, well, why did we even put that piece on there when now you don't see it at all? So I do try to put pieces that I can actually leave out and actually use, and you're able to see it. I don't like to cover up too much. So as you can see pretty well, you see everything. And so I'm just going to put this one sort of right here. And hopefully I can still reposition it once I do glue it down, because this glue will let me. Now I can put this right over top of here, or I can go under. Let's try this under here. And so this stays a little bit looser on the top. And then, okay, we're going to put this one over here. Now it's sort of in the same position as this one. As you can see, they're parallel. I wanted to actually make this a little bit, not quite sort of identical. I mean, it could be. Does it matter? Probably doesn't matter. Now I already put this here, but I could put it this way. Yeah, they're a little bit more opposite, right? So let's put this under here instead. Let's see if we can put it this way. That might work. I don't think I have to move this one. Now this one, let's put that here. However, let me get a piece of, where are my scissors? What did I do with the scissors? Who knows? Did I even bring them? I just want to get some cheesecloth. Cheesecloth tear, not really, right? I do need scissors and I can't see them. Oh, here they are. Okay. You know, in this mess that we call creative process, sometimes, you know, you cover up things you can't really see. But anyways, I wanted to put this, maybe I'll put this over here. Okay, just for a little bit more, because I don't have anything really to put underneath to fill it up. I could, but I could find something, I'm sure, but I'm just going to leave it over here. Okay, and let's put that right over top over here, just so I can still see a little bit of the cheesecloth and still a little bit of this beautiful brownish terracotta, whatever it is you want to call it, color, rustic color anyhow. And now we're going to put this way instead, and it's perfect, I think. Okay. Okay. So this is pretty well it for this one. So we've done our tag number 2. And I'm just going to, now it can stay, it might stay in the same position. But I want it to open up a little bit more like this. So that's okay. And then there's one over here. You could leave it like that. By all means, you could leave it intact, but I just like to widen it up a little bit. Okay, so we have 2 primitive tags so far, and these ones are the bigger ones. If you recall the size of it, let me see. There's the ruler. The size of this one was about 5.5 by 3 inches. So 5.5 by 3, 2 of them are completed. Now over here, this was the other piece that I wanted to, I'm going to put underneath. So that's 2 of them. Let me put them aside. I'm missing the piece for this one, of course. Or maybe I didn't make one. Did I make one for the other one? I'm not sure. So, okay, let me just cut a piece of it right here. I have a piece that is a little bit ripped and so on. I will not waste it, and I will use it right here. Okay, so we have 2 of those. So these are completed and ready for sewing. So we'll put